Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. Today is the third week to the collaboration that I joined 3 weeks ago. It's hashtag Flea Market Journal Challenge. It's hosted by three lovely ladies, Sheree Brown from Turquoise Streaming, Susan from Susan Hiles Art, and Maria from Maria Miscellany. Um, and we were supposed to make a journal using thrifted items, things from a flea market, things from the Dollar Tree, things that were given to us, and things that were free. And this week we were supposed to add the ephemera, and I guess finish it up. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've done most of the work. I've added a lot of ephemera to it, and I'm going to go ahead and add the last piece of ephemera to my journal, and I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through of it when I'm done. Um, and I'm going to share what I always include in a journal. Two things. I love mason jars, and I always include a mason jar in my journal. I always try to cut it out in some matching paper to the journal. So this is the mason jar that I cut out for this journal. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on this side of this little piece of paper. So let me go ahead and get that glue going. Oh gosh, my glue is the cap is stuck there. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little tuck spot out of this mason jar. And I don't know where the love of the mason jars came from. I think it started when I moved down south here. I've been here 32 years, and the first year that I was here, a nice southern old lady taught me how to make strawberry jam after I went strawberry picking, and I bought my first set of mason jars, and ever since then I just love mason jars. I just love them. So I always include, I have several mason jar dies, so I always include one in my journals. It's my thing. Another thing that I include in my journals is I always include a word find. And I have mentioned this before on my channel. My mother, who passed away over 25 plus years ago, she used to do word finds every day. And she would put the date. Of course, it would be bigger than this. But she would put the date in the margins. And sometimes she would write down what she did that day, how she was feeling. And I still have her word find books. And some of them, she had good days. And some of them she had bad days. She did pass away from cancer. Cancer is an evil thing, but so I always include a word find in memory of her. I think it makes a nice addition to a journal. It's kind of unexpected, and people just like finding them in journals. So I got this one from the Dollar Tree. It's one of those peel-aways, an everyday calendar. I cut off the date over here. So I went ahead and folded it, and I'm just going to tuck it right here. My two special loves, the mason jar and the word find. So that completes the last piece of ephemera that I'm going to add to the journal. So this is the cover of my journal. And I did say when I created the journal that I made a pocket here, and that I was going to include something in the pocket. And I did create this tag, which I did stitch, and I stamped it with a thrifted rubber stamp, and it says, "Life's most beautiful things are not seen with eyes, but felt with the heart." So it makes a nice journaling tag, or you can leave it blank. But I did stitch it on my sewing machine, and it kind of goes in there very nicely, kind of hid it in there. So this is my first page of my journal. I did add this fabric ruffle. And this is the fabric that I did thrift last Thursday with all that fabric from the thrift store. And this rickrack is from the Dollar Tree. I think it came out during Easter time. And I did make a collage right here of fabric and paper. And this little die right here is from the Dollar Tree. It was gifted to me from Nicole, the Vagabond Crafter. She sent me that in the mail. And I added some lace, some eyelash trim, and some music paper. And I did make this tag. This one is stitched as well. And this is a tag that I created with that book that I did with the Thrifty Thursday from yesterday. With that beautiful rose book. It should still be here. With this rose book that I got at the antique mall. And I cut it down to size because the page was really long. And I did some stenciling with some embossing paste on there with one of Tim Holtz's stencils. And I just love how this came out. And I did back it with some coffee dye paper and stitched it as well. And I did put some gel medium on it so it wouldn't be so shiny. So if you see in the light, it's very matte. It's not shiny anymore, and I love that. And I also made this blank tag, which I put some, I like making this fluffy stuff, with some eyelash trim, and I did stitch this tag as well. So that goes all in the front pocket. In this front pocket, I always like to put a tag that says, "This book belongs to," but I couldn't use that stamp because it wasn't thrifted, so I came up with that instead. And this is the second page. And this is a pocket that I created using a music book sheet of paper. And I made some tags. I did stitch this one as well and inked it. So that goes in there. And there's a little pocket right here. I cut this out from a Father's Day card. And this was a scrap that was sent to me. Some scrapbook paper that was sent to me from Charlene. So if you're watching, Charlene, thank you for that. And this is a Dollar Tree sticker. It did have another layer to it, and I took that layer off so it wouldn't be so bulky. I did some stenciling right here, and also this vintage ledger paper. This paper is so thick. It is very, very thick. It's very vintage. I wish I would have bought that book over here, but it's very vintage, this paper. So I did some stenciling there. This is the parchment paper that I got at my favorite thrift store. And this is a flip out that I made, excuse me, with an envelope. I did put this card on there. It's a greeting card from the Dollar Tree. And I made a little side pocket. And I put just a piece of lined paper in there for some extra journaling space. That's been kind of splashed with some coffee. So that goes in there. And then you open it up, flips open. And I put another piece of coffee dye paper in this one as well. And I did stencil it right here so it would look pretty peeking out from this envelope. Let me get that in there. Am I in frame? Yes, I am. And then on the envelope itself, I did put this little side pocket here with a couple of tags. And just stuck those in there as well. And that just kind of flips like that. On this side, I did create this little tuck spot using a circle. And this is that vintage receipt that I thrifted yesterday on my thrifty finds at the antique mall. So I put that one there. And this is a piece of food color dyed paper that I just folded over. And I put just this little note that I got from the thrift store. I added a dollar store sticker and some washi that was gifted. Just put that in there as well. And some cross-stitch paper from a cross-stitch book. That's the other side of it. And this is a guest check that was gifted to me from Charlene. We did a swap and glue, and she did include some guest checks, and I did coffee dye this one. And I did decorate it. And this is a die right here from the Dollar Tree. I was able to find that one. So I just decorated it. I made this little tag and just stuck this little tag in here. And Charlene, thank you for the guest check, because those are so cool. So I put that one there. I put some lace on this page. And this is the page that I did with the pocket. I think that was the second week? Second or third? No, second week. We did pockets. So I did this fold over pocket. I also did this pocket here. I was gifted this by Charlene, the grass cloth. And this is the card that I got at the antique mall. And I said I was going to turn this into a pocket. So I put this playing card in there. And this was something that I found at the thrift store. It's some old stationery that has, it's pink, it's lined inside. It says, today's kindnesses are tomorrow's happy memories. So that goes in here, in this pocket. This is my coffee dyed paper that I dyed with some plastic lace tablecloth. I just love that paper. Oh my goodness. And this is a post-it that I got from the thrift store. I love these as well. This is vintage as well. So I put that one here with the dictionary page. It's vintage as well. I got this one at a thrift store by the beach. I think this is a Martha Stewart, if I'm correct. I put some lace on this page. And that's the page that we just did right now, which is so adorable. And this is some Dollar Tree children's writing tablet. I put some lace on this page. And this is a page that I created using a die that was gifted to me by Nicole from Sunshine Honeybees. I won a giveaway and she included this die. And I tell you what, I got it in the mail. She said she was going to include some extras, and this was one of the extras, this die. And I tell you what, you go back and you look at that video, this die actually made me cry, because I had this in my Amazon cart. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to receive this die. But here it is. I got to use it. And I got this from one of those paper packs that Anna from Anna's Serenity's Creations sent me. So I put that in there. It's a postcard. So put that in there. And some more of that paper. And two more little tags just to sit in here like so. That completes that page. And here's some more parchment paper that I did edge the edges, the center of the signature. And this is a postcard on the back. I did create this tuck, just to tuck that in there like so. Isn't that pretty? Let's see. Turn the page. And I did some stenciling on that children's writing paper right here. I just put a little sticker on this one. And some more lace. And that's the back of the doily. And the dictionary. And I put another sheet of that cute little word find. And this die here was gifted to me by Angie from the Crafter Full of Laughter on YouTube. She sent it to me along with some winnings that I won on a giveaway. And this is how I use it. I just use it for bag toppers and for side tucks. So it kind of holds that nicely there. I just love that. It's very pretty. And some coffee dyed paper. And this is the other pocket that we worked on the second week. And that's how that looks. And this one goes here. And this one goes here. And this is a tag that I stitched all the way around on both sides. So I put that there. And this is just a little inspirational quote. Falling down doesn't make you a failure, but staying down does. Then it has the scripture there. And on the back as well, sometimes we are so busy adding up our troubles that we forget to count our blessings. So I kind of like that. So I'm just going to put that in there. I hope somebody finds that inspiring. I love this cross-stitch paper. And this is an envelope that I did stitch together. And this is the parchment paper that I used when I was coffee dyeing my paper. This is the paper that I used to rest the paper on my pan, my cookie sheet. So it gets coffee dyed as well. So it's very crinkly. So I decorated it with some fabric and some lace. I used a Dollar Tree sticker there. And I put some coffee dyed paper in there. I folded 3 times. See? And I just put it in there. So we got a bunch of crinkle going on in there. And I just added it to this page. So that's nice. And this is the other side of that coffee dyed, food color dyed paper. And this is some paper that I thrifted at a thrift store. It kind of matched everything. So, hey, perfect. Perfect fit. Music paper. And this is the square yo-yo that we did for the tuck spot with the stitched tag. And more parchment paper that's edge punched. I did some stenciling on the ledger paper. And this is the last page here. I did a fabric flip. This is some fabric that I thrifted. This is that big roll of eyelet lace that I had thrifted in one of my Thrifty Thursdays. And this is the Dollar Tree, oh God, my mind's drawing a blank. Rick Rack. So that's my fabric flip. You can write your deepest, darkest secrets under there. Nobody will see it. And that's the last page. And here in this back pocket, it's a bingo card. This was gifted to me by Charlene from Cheryl's Crafty World. Thank you, Charlene. I did stitch it all the way around. And this is a wallpaper envelope. I included this in one of my Thrifty Thursdays not too long ago. And I did stitch it all the way around. I love making these. And I included a couple of pieces of vintage paper. It says, when the going gets tough, the tough go shopping. So I put 2 of those in there. So that goes there. And I did make these 2 tags from one of those field guide books. This was the one on flowers. And I did add some coffee dyed paper to the back. And this is one of the field guides to the butterflies. Added some coffee dyed paper to the back of that one. And this is the last tag that I made. It says Cherish with the fluffy eyelash trim. I just love that trim. And all of this goes back in here. It's just something pretty to look at. And you can actually journal on the back of these. And that goes in there. And to close up my my journal, I did have a hard time trying to find something, and I finally found this. And it is I don't know what you call it. It's some trim. It's a trim. And what I did, I put the trim inside this. It's a bead, and I put some super glue gel inside there, so this is not going anywhere. And we're gonna go ahead and try to tie this on camera. Good luck with that. Let's see if we can make a bow. And that would be the end of my flip through. And that is the end of my flip through with the pretty bow. Well, sort of, kind of, but that's sort of, kind of a bow. But that is my shabby chic journal for kind of my first journal challenge on YouTube. So I want to thank the 3 ladies, Miss Sheree, Maria, and Susan, for hosting the challenge. And I hope I met up to the criteria, and I hope everybody loved the journal. And I want to thank everybody for watching the video. And happy Friday, and have a safe weekend. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.